Hello, welcome back. I'm hoping my audio issues have sorted this time, that there's no hiss coming through. I'll find out when I edit this video. I do apologise for that. It can't have been great for your viewing. I had a lot of hiss coming through the microphone of late. I've tweaked some settings in the camera. Hopefully it'll help. You might notice that the truck looks different. Since last time, I made up and fitted the links and also made up the shock absorbers. The reason I did that off camera is because the only thing more dull than sitting watching someone make up links is sitting watching someone make up shock absorbers. So I've done those, and I've also fitted side plates purely because they come at the same step in the manual. They're all integrated because you sort of use the same mounting points. You might notice there, as I said before, this is a 3-link front setup. There's no 4 links there, 4-link at the back. There's a panhard bar at the front which hasn't been fitted yet. I wanted to talk about the shocks before I move on to the build, because I've built these shocks to have very, very low rebound. Now the way you do that is, when you're filling the shocks up, you put the cap off and you're filling them up when you first assemble them. If you fill all the way to the top with this all the way down, there's more oil in it than if you fill it all the way to the top with this all the way up. The reason being is because the piston doesn't allow that much oil to pass it. It's a very small amount. As you go up and down like this, the oil level goes up and down. When the cap's off, you can see it going up and down and up and down. So if you put the cap on like that, full like that is actually less than full like that, because if you pull that down, the oil level dips, then you top it up again. So basically, if the oil is absolutely at its maximum and you put the cap on when the shock's like that, compared to if the oil's at the maximum and you put the cap on and it's like that, there's less in it if you do it when it's like that than when it's like that, just because the oil level changes. Now, there's no more air, no more or less air, because although there's less oil in one and more oil in the other, you've put the cap on while the oil's at maximum level, so no more air can get in, it's sealed. It just basically means that the pressure is different. So if you put the cap on when the oil's at the maximum level and this is compressed, the pressure is much lower internally once you put the cap on than if you pulled it all the way in. Now the result of that, all that waffling, the result of it is, you know when you take a spring off and you compress a shock like that, it'll spring back a little bit. See that? It'll spring back just a little bit. Because I've set to very low rebound, it only springs back a little bit, whereas if I'd pulled that all the way down and filled it, it would go boom and spring quite a lot further. The other difference it makes is if I actually open it, it tries to close again, see? It literally is trying to pull the piston up because of the low pressure inside it. And there's less likely to push back like that. Now, the result of that is it sort of fights against the spring a little bit. The spring's trying to go bang, but the shock's trying to compress. And what that does is it essentially softens up the action. It means that if you've got a crawler and you hit a rock and you want to climb over it, the suspension is more likely to compress because the shock is actually trying to compress. And then when it extends, obviously the spring overrides it, but it slows down the spring action just a little bit. And it means that you get less of a sort of ba-ding when the springs are open. You obviously want a lot of rebound on something where you're taking jumps and you want to try and avoid the shocks bottoming out when the chassis comes slapping down again. But on something like a slow crawler, having this is ideal because it makes it less sort of toy grade, because it's less springy to ping off and it looks more realistic in its movement. And it's more slow and controlled when it comes to compressing when it comes to opening up the suspension. I hope all that made sense. Anyway, that's the thing I've gone for. This instruction manual actually gives you the 2 options when you're building it to have high compression and low rebound, which is what I've gone for, versus low compression, high rebound. Low compression, high rebound being something like I have on the Mad Rat, for example. Anyway, all that waffling aside, what are we doing today? Well, apparently we are mounting the motor. The motor mounts here, the covers and everything. I should probably get the motor then, shouldn't I? That'd be a good idea. Right then, what do we need for this? We need 2 of the 3x8mm round head bolts. Now that's interesting. 3x8 okay. So there's only 2 left, which is surprising because even if these are the last 2, there's usually spares of everything as far as I'm concerned so far. Maybe there hasn't been spares of everything, and there's like one of each thing needed later on, but I always thought there were spares. 3x12s, 3 of them. 3x12, 3x12s, where are 3x12s? 3x10. Have I used 3x12s? No, I haven't. No, yes I have. I have. It's just over there. That's my over there pile for things I've not used yet. But this was over there. Right. I'm very organised when I build RCs, you see. Very organised. So, what was that? I was going to say it was almost regimented. My what was that? See them. Ah, 2 grub screws. A 3x3mm and a 3x4mm. Certainly haven't used grub screws. Where are grub screws about? Right, got them. There's a 3x4. Come on. Maybe I should leave that out until it's fine. I won't lose it. I won't lose it. Famous last words, but I'm not going to lose it. It's staying there. And how many 3x3s do we need? Just the one. Look in the instructions. Well, hold on. I'll do one thing at a time. I can't multitask. Come on. Get out of there. For goodness sake, grub screw. Just get out the packet, would you? There we go. Right. Covered in plastic. Do some major hoovering after this build, I think. Okay. Obviously we've got the cover. That goes last. Judging by the lack of space available, I mean the motor goes, I believe, along there. We might need to just mount the motor up before we mount the actual mount to the car. Usually I'd put the mount in and put the motor on, but I'm thinking put the motor on the mount first, so I'll do that. That came off really well. Here's the motor mount. I like how it shows you the corresponding, I don't know if you can see that there, but it shows you the corresponding number. So for example, we're using the standard 13 tooth pinion. It's got, oh, here's the 13 tooth for one screw, 13 tooth for this screw, and that's probably, it'll be using, see that there? That'll be using the kit recommended spacing on the spur to the pinion, which is okay actually, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe, hopefully they've judged it right. I mean, I'm sure they should have, but anyway. Motor first. Or pinion first. I'll put the pinion on loosely first. I won't crank it all the way up because I'll need to slide it back and forward until I'm happy with it. So where is the pinion? There it is. Big beefy pinion. I brought some Loctite. Oh sorry, thread lock rather. Oh, my little Alec, he's all the way over there. Come here. There we go. Right. I've got a little bit of thread locker because I'm using a metal grub screw on a metal pinion. I'd rather use a little bit of thread locker. Now the bigger 3x4 grub screw goes on the pinion, so let's do that. Just a little bit, I don't want to use too much. It is only a grub screw after all. Put that back on. Plus I don't really want to crank it all the way up right away. Not until it's sitting right. It's maybe too tight to slide on already. Do we slide it? Yeah, we do. Well, I was going to say, would you slide it on that way, or sometimes you do it reversed, but anyway. Oh, it does fail. I was going to say, maybe that's not going to. Right. Grub screws on loosely. The 3x8s are for what we mount the motor with. Now that's not coming off in a breeze. Okay, so should this just slot in and line up automatically then, because I've used the correct holes and everything that's recommended? The sliding it in is difficult because the nut for the spur is in the way. That's what this indentation's for. See? It's got an indentation there because the nut or the spur sits in there. But then how do you get it past the nut in the first place? Do you just push past it? Come on. Don't know if you push past it or not, but I'm not succeeding at the moment. I don't want to damage anything, scratch anything. Oh, come on, just there we go, that's it. Okay. As I thought, right, okay, I need to adjust the pinion just a little bit. What's that? That can't be all the way in. That's not even remotely. It's not even remotely near the spur. There we go. Better. Links are getting in my way. Right. Would you? Thank you. Let's just get the pinion tightened up. Is it clear? Maybe move it back a fraction. I'll do it. Yeah, okay. Now here's the thing, is that pinion's that's not bad. I was gonna say pinion's quite tight against the spur gear, but it's actually pretty good. It's not bad. I thought it was, but it seems okay. We'll see what it's like when it's all getting clamped down. Now those were the 3x. Links are getting my way again. Those are the 3x12s, but those are for the cover. I don't want that yet. The 3x3 is also for the top of the cover. For some reason there's a hole in the top of the cover that goes over. I don't know if that's maybe to get access to the pinion from above. Oh, it can't be. I don't know what that's for actually. The grub screw goes down through a hole in the top of this, see? For maybe it squeezes against the top of that. Maybe just to hold it in place, I don't know. But anyway, how do we screw the actual motor mount down? 3x12, two of them. Oh, that goes through the cover. Cover holds the. The cover holds the mount down. It's sort of just squashed in. So, but there must be something from the bottom. There has to be something from the bottom. There is a screw here. I don't even see it in that camera. Where does this go? Up through something. I wonder if again that's the cover. It just gets squashed in. Doesn't seem like anything screws into this mount whatsoever, apart from the motor itself. Well, we can test this because we've used these two. We only have 1, 2, 3 sitting here. So if the cover uses all 3, then it uses all 3, and that's this step complete. Apart from putting this stupid wee pinion at the top in the cover for some reason. So let's get the cover. Which did not come off very well at all. Okay. Yeah, that hole there does plug into a hole that's in the chassis through the bottom, which looks like that screw will screw up into. So, right, let's just try and get this all nicey. Not. Okay. Ugh. Come on, mount. Stop being a. Is it plugged in right? I mean, it's plugged in. Yeah. Come on. Come on. There we go. I want to do the bottom one first of all. Up through there. Yeah, that is definitely. I love the design of this truck. I absolutely love it. I mean, I said I've been posting photographs on the MS UK forum and just little 1 or 2 lines of what I think about the build so far and stuff. And I was saying it struck me how well designed this whole thing is. It's just everything comes together. It looks all complicated and everything, but everything slots all together perfectly and all comes together at the end and stuff. And but as I said on there, I bet you all, you know, top end crawlers, axials and all the rest of them are just like that. They're all like that. It's just that this is the first one I've ever built, so it struck me as, oh, this is mental. But they're probably all really, really good like this. Okay. Now the random wee grub screw at the top. I'm still not entirely sure what that's for. I mean, it just looks like it's there to hold the top the motor plate with the mount, really. I did notice, there it is there, look. It says, absolutely perfectly get it flush with the top of the plastic housing. Don't go beyond, don't have it sticking up. Okay, I can do that. Let's get this right. It seems to be quite adamant on it, so that's what I'll do. There we go. I can see why some people put 550 size motors on this thing. The 540 is kind of dwarfed in there, look. But it's going to have plenty of power for this thing. No mistake about that. Making sure the motor brushes are nice and free. Yes, they are. Okay, it's the motor in. Now these next parts where we make the shocks, but I've already done that, so that's cool. We can just move on. Drive shafts. Okay. Now, as I've said many times on kit builds over the years, whenever it says to put grease on an exposed part, I never ever do. Ever. Because grease is a dirt magnet, and if it's exposed and to the outside, that's the first time you're going to use that. Dirt and grit and gravel is just going to stick to that, and although you're going to initially be free of running, within moments it's going to be grinding horrible and it'll just be disgusting and it'll be filthy. So not going to bother with any of that. We need the set screws. One, well, that's these ones here, the 3x3s. Come on, there's the one set screw. We'll put it in the fold of the page there. One 3x8mm flat wrench bolt. 3x8mm flat one, flat head. 3x8, just the one. Universal joint cup. Don't recall seeing those. Maybe still in the box. Let's have a look. It looks like all of them, all the drive shaft stuff's been in the box still. So all of this stuff's untouched. That makes perfect sense. Right. Plastic drive shafts, but you know, reasonable sized, and if they're not up to the task, we'll upgrade, but I think they will be. Right, universal joint cup, that's in here. Where's my, there it is. There's my universal joint cup, right there. Universal joint drive coupler. That's one, come on. Oh, I've got a pin first, there's the pin. And there's the drive coupler. Okay, get the front axle. Here it is. Set it like that. That goes through there. These are so fiddly. These are always really fiddly. That is there. Come on, in there. Get through. Get through. That's fighting me. There we go. Is that in? Yes. Can I get the... No, which way's threaded? That way's threaded. Okay, can I get access with the Allen key? I mean, it's designed to, so I'm sure I will. Like that. Oh, maybe I should. Yes, more thread locker. Again, it's metal and metal. I don't want to use too much though. So come on. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's plenty. Make sure it's nice and even both sides. Is it nice and even both sides? Yeah. Tighten that up. Come on, tighten up. Okay, shouldn't come off in a breeze. Now, GM684 Part 1. That's this here. This thing that's not coming off nicely at all. Yes, that thing there. That thing that's been a pain. Okay. In like that. Oh, in like that. That. Good. And now you put the screw down the bottom of that. Okay. Again, it'd be good if my Allen keys were magnetic. But one thing I'm definitely sure of is a little bit more thread locker. Because I've noticed, I mean, you know to use thread locker on metal stuff, but sometimes if you don't have it to hand, you go, okay, it'll be fine, I'll just crank it right up. And I've found many a time with my FTX Outlaw that just doesn't work. It keeps spitting drive pins constantly because these things loosening off. So just get it done right first time. Come on, there we go. Okay, here we are. Now onto the rear one. I'll put that aside. Is it exactly the same setup? Front to back, it is. It's the same thing. So let's get the little grub screws. Come on, there we go. Oh, now two of you come out, just to wind me up. Is that right? I need to put this one back in. I can't let it just lie loose, because if there's anything you're going to lose, it's a grub screw. Right, get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. You know what? I'm going to put it on the end of an Allen key. Put the Allen key into the packet. There we go. Right. Again, 3x8 flathead bolts, which I've managed to lose already. Silk joint, cup. Coupler. That coupler's decided it's going to be in that joint. Okay, fair enough. Come. And pin. pin. There it is. Rear axle. Okay. Again, in there. Like that. Get nicely lined up. This one, that way. Oh, it's moving away. Pin. Come on. Actually, that hole doesn't look great. I'll use this side, see if it's any better. Come on. Since ski went. Ah, come on. It doesn't want to go in that side at all. Why was the other side so easy? And this side's been rubbish. Come on. Ah, I'm going to stab myself if I'm not careful. It's just not for happening. There's something not right with that one at all. If try and move it around, move the cup around, it's just jamming up. Not good at all. No, it's not for happening. Something is out of shape here. Something is not happy at all. Oh, there you go. It's through. And it's jammed completely. Completely jammed up. Completely jammed. Look at that. Can't angle it. Why not? Jeez. Nope. Oh dear. Oh dear. No, I can't move it from that angle. That angle there. It just won't let me. So if I use a persuader, it flicks to side and stays there. You can probably hear it trying to. Yeah, there's something fundamentally wrong with one or more of these pieces here. This is going to take me a while to sort. So we might as well just close the video there, and we'll get back to you another day when this is all sorted. That's not good. Right, see you later.